I only wish it weren't. Believe me.
It has to be Ledward. There's no other possible explanation. It has to be him.
Now hold on, Derek.
What, you think Frank will vouch for him now?
Oh, Pam! Some more brandy! Quick!
You still say this connection with the play is a load of hooey? Well, it's getting a bit close for comfort if you ask me.
Oh, it's too hot in here.
Can we do something about the lamps?
Well, we could turn on the working lamps, I suppose.
Okay.
Oh, Martin, could you? I can't go out there.
Sure.
Above the stand table is the main switch. To the right are 3 smaller switches. They are the workers.
Do you want to hear something funny? I said, do you want to hear something funny? I'm the only one who hasn't been killed here yet tonight. Do you realise that? I'm the only one here who hasn't been killed yet tonight. Don't you find that funny? We start the dress rehearsal and Jennifer gets suffocated with a pillow. Scene 2, and Brian gets poisoned with cyanide. And then, just as dear old David Lacey, the corrupt counsellor, is about to be shot in the head, the play grinds to a halt. Our mysterious Arthur Ledward takes over and puts his plot into reverse. Only this time, for real. Frank gets his neck broken, for real. Angela gets strangled, for real. And any minute now, yours truly is about to be shot in the head, for real. Don't you find that hysterical?
Your murder in the play is fake!
Oh, for God's sake. I've nothing to do with this. For God's sake, believe me.
Well then, what about Pam? What about Pam? Well, she's not in the play. There are 5 murders, and there's 6 of us.
6 murders. Knarkis's note, if you remember, was found next to a body of a dead fox. Pamela Fox.
But that's absurd. It's ridiculous.
Of course it's ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous. Don't start looking at logic, Pam, because you won't find any.
Oh my God.
Well, I still say it could be one of you.
Oh yes, and who do you have in mind? We were all here when Frank bought it, remember?
Well, except Martin.
Oh sure. Martin is the only one of us who could have killed Frank. He's also the only one of us who could not have killed Angela. Where does that leave you? 2 murderers? Somehow I don't think so.
Well, why not you then?
I was here, I tell you.
But you could have set that tripwire at any time. Even once dress rehearsal had started. That first scene between Martin and Kate.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, but so could any of us. Now, we all had the chance to set up a tripwire. And to cut the phone cord too, now come to think of it.
What phone? You found a phone?
Yes, I found it alright. Downstairs in the hallway. With the cord ripped out.
The same as in the play. In the hallway with the cord ripped out.
And the minibus is gone.
What?
The minibus. It's not in the driveway. It's gone.
Well, that settles it. If you think I'm waiting around here to be blown to Kingdom Come, you've got another thing coming. I'm getting out of here.
Now hold on, Derek. Now these corridors are full of weapons, including antique pistols.
Well, let's go out through the theatre then.
You can't. All the doors are bolted from the outside. I had to walk round before rehearsal. There's no way out.
Great. Whichever way we go, we must stick together and be very careful. If Ledward laid a trap for Frank, he could quite easily do the same for any of us. Now, firstly... No,
don't kill me!
No,
Please, don't kill me! No.
What's happening? Martin! Martin!
It's okay. The lights are gone backstage. Someone must have flicked the main switch. Luckily, the stage lights on a different circuit.
It's the blackout from the end of scene 2.
I know. Pam, is there a torch anywhere?
It's in the minibus.
Now, how do we get out of here?
Whose great idea was it to turn off the stage lights?
Oh, it's mine if you must so.
Why?
I
Why?
was hot, no other reason!
Alright! Let's just stop fighting each other now, shall we? Just stop.
Oh, if only this were a bad dream. If only Angela and Frank weren't dead at all.
I found Angela. You think I could imagine that? I am never going to forget those eyes.
It's alright, Pam. We know you didn't imagine it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marty. I wasn't thinking.
Well, think now, damn you. He's out there somewhere. I know he is.
Alright! So we accept Ledward is here somewhere, in this building. But why is he doing this? Why is he playing games with us?
Games? Games? I'm next on the list. I'm about to be shot in the head, and you call it playing games?
If he does want to kill us, then why is he doing it this way? But first, the that blackout happens at the end of scene 2, Derek. Not long after you're shot. And if the play is now working backwards, you haven't much time. So try and think rationally. If we are all going to get out of this, and I do mean all, we've got to stick together.
Oh, what can we do? What can we do? How do we stop him?
Now again, if he is trying to kill us, why is he doing it this way? Why is he putting on this elaborate performance?
He's a madman. He must be a sadist.
He's probably out there somewhere, watching us, enjoying every minute of it.
Yes, but why go for all this trouble? Why arrange for us all to be here, put on his play, do a couple of scenes, and then stop it and kill us one by one, in the manner of the play? It's all too easy.
Easy? Oh my God.
It's all too easy to discover that's what he's doing. Oh, yes, it took a while. We were a bit slow on the uptake. We were too busy accusing each other. But eventually, the penny dropped. Now that 2 of us are dead, we know what he's doing. He's telling us. He's even giving us clues. The blackout, the telephone. So now we know at any given moment what's going to happen next.
Oh, I know what's going to happen next. None of you seem to care a damn.
And that's the thing.
So we know. What does that help? It just makes things worse.
We're missing something. We must be missing something. Why is he showing us his hand? Why is he giving us these clues? Unless there's something, somewhere, some way we can stop him.
But why is he doing it in reverse?
Whichever way he does it, I'm next. Can't you see? For God's sake, do something.
If the play is now in reverse, then maybe there's something at the beginning of the play he doesn't want us to hit upon, to discover. So it's too late.
It's too late now, damn you.
And at the same time, it's giving us a chance to find out if we can. He's playing with us. He's teasing us. What happens in the play before anyone gets killed?
Oh, there's the drinks on the cocktail cabinet.
Yes, but what do they mean? It doesn't get us anywhere.
Well, then there's a note from Kanakis.
Confess your sins and you will be saved.
But that doesn't mean anything either.
Or does it? I wonder. Perhaps that's how we can put a stop to it. In the play, they're shown a note before anyone gets killed, right? So they give them a chance to save themselves. If they confess how they betrayed Kanakis, he'll spare them, having first of all discovered who he really is.
I don't follow.
Well, none of them have ever met Kanakis, right? All they know is he owns the villa and he's arranged for them all to be here.
None of us have ever met Ledward. He owns this house and he's arranged for all of us to be here.
And if Ledward is Kanakis, then he's also the Domino Man. The man in disguise.
So he's not Ledward at all.
Precisely! He's not Ledward at all. He's someone from our past who we all know and who we all betrayed at some time or other. And by doing the play in reverse, we can't get that message outside the doors. It's too late and we're all dead.
If we can discover who he is and admit what we did to him, then he'll spare us.
But in the play, they never find out who Canarchus is.
Then we'll have to try that much harder than they did, won't we? Ledward wants revenge. He'll kill us all if necessary. He'll be happy to see us all torture ourselves, trying to figure out who he is. Hence this fantastic charade!
Then who is he? Who is he?
We must think fast, all of us.
Everybody we've harmed, however remotely. Oh my God, that's my line from the play.
But Derek's murder is faked. He is the murderer.
Oh, for God's sake, I've nothing to do with this. For God's sake, believe me, I'm telling the truth.
How does Canarchus fit into the play? I mean, all we know is he's rich and he owns the villa. Okay, so Ledward is rich and he owns this house.
Well, and if there's to come to that, what if he is some serious business after all?
What about you two girls? An unhappy love affair or something?
Oh darling, too many to count.
I had an accident once. The other driver was badly hurt. He was paralysed. But it wasn't my fault. I swear it wasn't my fault.
What was his name?
He came out of his light turn. I didn't even see him.
His name, Pamela!
His name, Courtney. George Courtney.
Well, it doesn't mean anything to me. Anyone else?
No.
Derek?
I can't think straight. I can't think straight.
I was engaged to be married once. Oh, it was a long time ago. He was a struggling actor at the time and, well, I'm afraid I jilted him. The day before the ceremony, to be exact. We pestered him for weeks and weeks to get back with him, but I just told him to get lost.
Well?
Well, I regret it ever since, of course. He's now a very rich man.
Kate?
But it can't be him, it can't be. He's devious, yes, and well, most certainly a crook. But this?
His name, Kate!
It's Howard! Howard Delator!
Well, we all know of him, of course. And he fits the bill.
But did any of you know him personally in the past?
I knew him.
Pamela?
Yes.
Derek?
Well, I mean, I've heard of him, of course. I mean, everybody knows Delator, but I've never met the man.
I knew him 20 years ago. We were just both coming out of drama school. Both in the same year. Most of us were up for part in a TV series. They were looking for a young guy, late teens. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of money. Eventually, the shortlist came down to 2 people. Me and Howard. It stayed that way for a fortnight. My God, those were the 2 longest weeks of my life. I was young and very ambitious. So I sent a letter to the director of the series, supposedly from Howard's agent, saying that Howard had accepted another offer and was no longer available for the job. So I got the part. Howard never spoke to me again after that day. I always suspected he knew.
Look, it can't be him, I tell you. I've never had any dealings with him. It can't be him.
I was the company manager on the first tour that Howard ever put on the road. I did the bookkeeping as well. Business was bad, not disastrous, but poor. At the end of the 8th week, £2,500 went missing. Howard couldn't pay the cast and the tour folded. As a result, he lost another $5,000 in various claims. I'd taken the money. I'd falsified the accounts. Howard knew it all right. He accused me to my face, but he couldn't prove it. I'd been too clever. Needless to say, I've never worked for him since. Until now, that is.
Are you all deaf or something? Will you stop harping on about Howard Delator? It's not him, I tell you. It's somebody else.
Derek, you must have made a mistake. You must have known him. Think again.
Look, I've never met the bastard. No, it's somebody else. There has to be.
I wonder what Frank and Angela did to him.
We shall never know.
Angela and I were talking once during rehearsals. Howard's name was mentioned. She said, I never want to hear that man's name again. Well, now I know what she meant.
Look, Delator disappeared, didn't he? Weeks ago. How can it possibly be him?
They say his company was about to crash, owing a lot of money.
So, Howard does a Lord Lucan. Typical.
And if you have any further lingering doubts, Derek, take a look.
What is it?
Arthur Ledward and Howard de la Tour.
One is an anagram of the other.
What? No, it isn't possible. It isn't possible.
You must have known him. What happened between you?
If you didn't know him, Derek, your wife certainly did.
No.
Her and I were down at Salisbury together. She confided in me. She was having an affair with Howard.
No, that isn't true. That isn't true.
Look, I'm sorry if you didn't know, but now's no time for niceties.
Listen, Derek. We know what Howard did to you. What did you do to him? Tell us.
No, nothing. I did nothing.
Oh, for pity's sake, Derek, tell us. It need go no further.
No.
Listen, Derek. We are now back in the play. The storm has begun. There's lightning coming through the windows.
No.
Listen, Derek. You must tell us. This is a scene where you are shot, remember? Now you must tell us what you did to Howard. Tell us now. Admit it openly. Before it's too late. Howard will kill you.
What? No, stop him. Stop him, please, stop him.
Derek, you must tell us what you did. Now.
No.
Confess your sins and you will be saved.
Confess, Derek, and he will stop. Now.
No.
Confess. Ask his forgiveness.
No. I killed you, Howard.
But he's here. Derek, Howard is here.
No, he can't be. He came to my house and I killed him. I hit him again and again and again. I killed him, I told him. I buried him in the garden. I buried him with my bare hands. Oh, Rebecca, I couldn't help myself.
This is Storm from the second scene.
Don't worry. You're both quite safe.
Frank?
As you can see, I'm very much alive.
Frank's gun may not be real, Derek, but this one is.
How did that gun get there?
I put it there during the first scene. I couldn't carry it around with me, but I wanted to keep it close at hand. Thought I might need it. Now, I'm not so sure.
Will somebody mind please tell me what the hell is going on?
I'm afraid that I am Arthur Ledward. At least, I'm responsible for everything that's happened here this evening. But there meant no harm to come to either of you. It was Derek I wanted.
You mean you knew? You knew Derek had killed Howard?
Oh yes, I knew. At least, I was as sure as any man could be. But I couldn't prove it.
What? So this whole thing was a trap? What, to make him confess?
In a way, yes. You see, a confession alone was not enough. We had to know what Derek did with Howard's body. Without that, we couldn't prove anything.
You know, there were times I thought he'd never crack.
But he did. Perhaps you girls would like to sit down?
Yes, I don't think we quite realised what effect this would have on them. Or us. Sorry if we frightened you.
Yes. Kate, Pam, what can I say? But if there was any other way we could do this, we would have. Believe me. I'm sorry.
But what's this all got to do with you? Either of you?
Perhaps I should explain.
Yeah, I think perhaps you should.
If you haven't already gathered, my name isn't Arthur Ledward. It's Martin. Martin de la Tour. Howard was my brother. To begin at the beginning, I've been living in Australia the last 10 years, trying to eke out a living in the theatre. I came back to this country 3 months ago. Now, Howard and I weren't exactly close, but he was my brother, so we arranged to meet one evening, just for a few drinks. We listened to each other's gossip. He told me about his financial difficulties. He told me about his affair with Rebecca Watson, Derek's wife, who at the time had left Derek and was living on her own. And Howard told me that Derek had caught them both together one night, and he threatened to kill him. And Derek laughed. Anyway, me and Howard decided to meet the following Sunday, so we parted. That was on Monday. On Thursday, I was downtown for an interview, so I thought it'd be a good idea to phone up Howard, see if he'd like to meet up for a few more drinks. But he said no. He was meeting the cuckold at a place called Chelsea. But he said, see you Sunday. Then he hung up. Now, the cuckold I took to mean Derek. But the thing I didn't quite understand was, he referred to Chelsea as a place. But I mean, why? I mean, everyone knows Chelsea. So why refer to it as a place? I didn't understand. Next few days, I heard nothing from Howard. Sunday came, still no Howard. So I started to grow a little bit suspicious. I decided to track down this Derek Watson. I even found out where he lived. Turns out he lived just a few yards away from a pub called the Chelsea. The landlord remembered them both. So they were both there one evening and they were arguing violently. And they had both left together. That was the last time anyone had seen or heard from Howard. So I went to the police and I told them everything. And what did they do? Nothing. They completely dismissed the whole idea. So I had no choice. I hired a private detective to follow Derek. Just for one day. It was all I could afford. He went nowhere in particular, but yet, well, everywhere. Wandering around the streets of London. A nervous and frightened young man, I was told. And occasionally he'd go into a pub and order himself a large whiskey. His hands shaking so much he could hardly raise a glass to his lips. And whenever he'd see a police officer, he would rush down a side alleyway and would not appear again till they had gone. Not exactly the actions of an innocent man. So, there can only be one conclusion. Derek had done away with him. The question was, how and where? Frank, would you mind?
I can assure you, Derek, this gun is for real.
And so I decided to lay a trap for him. Angela and Frank agreed to help. Frank, by the way, is a good trusted friend from way back.
And as it happens, Howard owes me a great deal of money. So you could say I have a vested interest in the outcome of tonight's performance.
And so I hatched my elaborate plot. Though it wasn't so elaborate, it just, well, fell into place. And Howard did look after this house very well. He told me the night we met that if ever me and Angela would like to come here for the weekend, we could make ourselves feel at home. He even gave me the keys. Oh, my wife, Angela.
I've called the police. They're on their way.
Angela? But
Howard was quite proud of his little theatre. A rich man's toy, he used to call it. And indeed, the set was already here. Now, The Domino Man was written myself some years ago. It's never been performed though. I mean, it's not that good of a play, as you all have mentioned on more than one occasion. But we decided to do a professional production of it. Here. Okay, I had to rewrite it here and there to suit the purposes of this evening. But then the three of us would be in it, with Frank directing. Now, the hard part was getting Derek to play the part of David Lacey. You see, he wasn't very cooperative at first, but eventually Frank managed to persuade him to be involved. Next thing, we had to ask for 2 more people. We needed a stage manager and an actress to play the part of Jennifer. There had to be 2 people that Howard held an authentic grudge against. Now, there were quite a few candidates, I can tell you, but we chose you 2. Once the 3 of you had agreed to be involved, we're ready to go.
But I saw Angela. Her neck, the eyes.
Just makeup, I'm afraid.
And she is a good actress when she tries.
Yes, that was our first difficult moment. I mean, there was a time when I didn't think you'd even find her.
In the end, I had to send you in there to make the tea.
But how do you get us to connect this all with Howard?
Well, I didn't, you see, it was quite... Well, it had to be a gradual process. I had to point you in the right direction and I had to prompt you quite a few times, I must admit. Whenever you went astray, I had to gently lay you back onto the path I wanted you to take. But most of the time, you did all the hard work for me. And Derek did confess to being the murderer. No, not the murderer you were looking for, but the murderer we were looking for.
Well, in the past 2 hours, I've been scared, frightened, and practically wet my knickers. But all in all, I think it's been one of the most exciting nights of my life.
How can you say that? They used us. They used both of us. They had no right.
Oh, come along, Pam. I know Howard's a charlatan, but you did embezzle him out of 2,500, remember? Now, if that came into conversation with the police, what would happen with that, Martin?
Well, I don't see why that would need to be brought up. I mean, if they don't know about it, they can't ask it back, can they?
Come along, old girl. I'm sure Howard's got a stock of alcohol somewhere. Gonna get you blind drunk.
Not so fast. Nobody move. If anyone's going to get drunk, it's going to be me. But I'll be a long, long way from here when I do. Oh, Martin, you're a very clever man, I'll give you that. I didn't mean to kill Howard. It just sort of happened. But that doesn't mean I'd hesitate to kill any of you. I mean it, Kate. I've got nothing to lose now.
Hold it right there, Derek! You use so much as blink, and I'll shoot.
You fire at me, I'll fire at your wife.
And vice versa. You see, fortunately for someone here, one of these guns is filled with real bullets. The other one is filled with blanks. Now the question is, which gun is which? So why don't you drop that gun and save us all a lot of trouble?
You wouldn't.
Are you prepared to take that risk?
Okay, you win.
Kate, would you mind? Derek! Don't worry, you won't get far.
But why didn't you shoot?
What with? Blank cartridges?
You mean he had the gun with the real bullets?
What I mean is, neither of us had the gun with real bullets. They were both filled with blanks.
Well, I think I had you totally wrong, Martin. I didn't think you had it in you. Suddenly, I've got this overwhelming desire. So Pamela's coffee. You're a lucky girl, Angela. Here's to you, Mr. Donald.